Alright, good afternoon, guys. I know it's been a while since I've done any EFILive videos, but today I'm going to go over the basics on how to do some script tuning. Basically, if somebody sends you a script and you want to tune your truck with a script. Now, I'm going to be working with an 04 LB7 and an 08 LMM. Now, the 04 LB7, the script sequence will be pretty much the same from 2001 till 2004 and a half on the LB7s and through the LOYs, which is 04 and a half to I believe 05 and a half or 06, somewhere in there. So that will all be the same using this file, and whenever I go over to the LMM, that'll be the same for the LBZs and the LMMs. So let's just go ahead and start with an LB7. This is a stock tune from a 2004 truck. Now the first thing you got to remember is your scripts, whether they are imperial or metric, you need to find out from the guy you got them from, or whoever supplied them to you should give you that detail if they're imperial or metric. Mine are all imperial, so to change the display units, we'll go to Edit and then down to Configure Display Units, and we'll want to select All and Imperial, and then your speedometer segment as well, and hit OK. Now we are ready to apply the script. So what we'll do is go under Edit, and then you'll click on Run Script, and you'll click on Open. And my scripts are here. You just have to remember where you ended up putting your scripts. So we'll go down here to LB7. So this is a 400 ruble horsepower tune. That's total horsepower, not added. Go ahead and open up that one. Just double click it. And you'll see here, this is all the changes that we'll be making to your tune. So at this point, you just hit run and let the computer do its thing. And there it's done. You hit close. And if you want to see what changed, anything highlighted in blue, you can see the folders here, like this one under fuel injection, it's got blue on it. You'll open up your main injection, that one's got blue. These maps have been changed. If you want to see how they've been changed, you can take a look at the map here and hit the undo button and then the redo button. You can see how they've been changed. So anything else you want to do, now would be the time. You want to change tire size or the speed limiter, you can do whatever you wanted to at this point. Once you're done, you hit save as. You want to save it as a new tune file. So we'll call this one LB7 400 rear wheel horsepower and hit save. At this point, it's ready to be flashed back onto the truck. So we'll go ahead and close this file. And now I want to do the same thing, except this time we're going to do a DSP5. Go ahead and open up this LB7 tune. And this time, the first thing you'll do is you'll go under Upgrade Operating System tab, or OS. And here you're going to select DSP5 V2. And apply on upgrade. This upgrade cannot be undone. Continue, yes. Then OK. And now you'll want to save as. I'll call this one DSP5. And then hit save. Now you'll notice there's still nothing under custom calibrations, and that is because after you apply this upgraded operating system, you have to close the file and then reopen the file. Right there, DSP5. And now you'll see you have the custom calibrations here. DSP switch, all that stuff. Alright, so if you'll notice here is one thing I want to point out on the LB7s and LLYs, these tables are not populated. So in order to populate them, we run the scripts that actually come with EFILive software. So what we'll do is we'll hit the edit, run script, open. Now this will be your default scripts. As you can see here on my PC, it's documents, EFILive, v75, user configuration scripts. This is where you'll find these. Now this is a 2004 LB7, so we'll want DSP5 LB7 late Imperial. You know, actually I totally forgot, we need to make sure that all of our settings are set to Imperial first, because this looks like it might not be. You'll want to do that again. Configure display units, close all windows, yes. Yeah, see, they are not in Imperial, so all Imperial, and then OK. Now we'll go back, edit, run script, open, and again we'll select LB7 late. Now early and late, I usually try to think of the 01s and the 02s to be the earlies and the 03 and 04 to be the late. So we'll take this, since we are working with an 04 LB7, we'll do the DSP5 late Imperial, open, and run. Basically what this does is it populates them with same as stock settings or near stock settings, just to get them populated. Now if we go back under here, you'll see these have all been changed. And they're all populated now. Pretty much same as stock settings. So we will now save this just to make sure it's saved. And now we can run our script that we've gotten from our tuner or whoever you got your script from. So run script, open, scripts, scroll down and find our LB7 DSP5. Open and run. And this will do everything for us. All the DSPs and the base tune. If you want to understand how it actually works, I guess I can't explain it all in a short video, but the basics is your basic engine calibration. This is all considered DSP1, or if you data log it, it'll come up as no DSP. So that is your base tune, and it is normally the biggest one because it is much easier to pull power out of the biggest tune than it is to add power to a small tune. So my scripts, if I send them to anyone, they are going to be biggest tune, base tune. And then DSP number 1 would be actually number 2 position on the switch. Well, I take that back. Actually, my switches would be with a switch on number 5. 5 would be the smallest tune. That is correct, actually. So DSP program number 1 would be the second biggest. Base being the biggest, number 1 be second, then third, and then fourth, and then fifth. So DSP number 4 would be the smallest tune. And under DSP switch, you gotta make sure those are set right, which my script does not change. However, the DSP voltage for each switch, you can see here 4 volts for number 1, number 2, 3 volts, and so on. And that will determine which DSP it uses according to which DSP position is on the switch. I know that gets a little confusing, get into that, but you shouldn't have to mess with any of that stuff. So this tune is pretty much done. Now, if you have EGR still active on your truck, you'll want to go in here and undo the changes done in the EGR settings. But in this particular case, we're just going to say it's been done. And it never hurts if you wanted to go under DTC test enablers, just to make sure that all EGR and stuff like that has all been disabled in the script. If you want to make sure you don't get engine lights on, these are all disabled. Excuse me. Disabled. Well, maybe I didn't have a stock tune in here to begin with, because these are all been disabled already. Alright, so you would save this tune file as a DSP5, which I guess we already have. We want to replace it, yes. And now our tune is ready to be flashed onto the truck. And remember, anytime you do a DSP5, since it is an upgraded operating system, you have to do a full flash, which I cannot do right now because I don't have my cable plugged in. But that is where you would use the program PCM operating system and calibrations. Alright, and next we will go on to the 2008 LMM tune. Go ahead and open up a stock tune. Basically this would be what you would read off of your truck if it was stock. So first thing is first, we'll go to Edit, Configure Display Units. Again, my scripts are all Imperial, so we'll go all Imperial. OK. And then we're going to go ahead and run a script under Edit, and then run Script. I'll open that up. My scripts are here. And LMM 400 rear wheel horsepower, no DPF. We'll go ahead and use that one. Open. And then run. Oh, that's something I need to change in my script. I just realized there was a couple of errors there. See, occasionally you'll get some errors, and right here you can see it says 2 errors. And the easiest way to find what the error was is you look for this right there. It's not described unique, calibration area rectangle. So the reason that you get an error sometimes is some operating systems are slightly different than others. But this one should not be an issue. I've ran this script on other 07s and never had any issues, so we'll just go ahead and close that. And as you can see, once again, the folders are highlighted in blue, the ones that have been adjusted. You can see all the maps that have been adjusted in here. Now, you can run these scripts with or without EGR and DPF. On EGR, once again, you look at these. On this one, it's the numbers have it disabled even though the control is enabled. You can undo these and the EGR will work just fine. And DPF, same thing here. You undo these changes and your DPF will work. And once again, go under Engine Diagnostics, DTC Tables. And I know for a fact, because this script is an older script, it's missing some of the DPF settings. There's a couple of them that are not disabled. Let me see. Right there, you can see this one. That's an EGR one. It is not disabled, so we'll hit X, not reported. And I think there's one under DPF yet. Yeah, right here. That one is as well. Just hit X, not reported. All right, that should be the basics on that. And again, you can go under speedometer, change tire size, and speed limiter and whatnot. And one thing to remember, if you do want to adjust the speed limiter, you got to make sure that vehicle speed limiter option is set to disabled if you want to turn it off, or enabled if you want to set it to a certain speed. My recommendation is always 120 because there's really no reason you'd want to stay in a big Duramax for longer than 120 anyway. Start overheating the exhaust and whatnot. If you got gauges, you know it's different. You can watch your exhaust temp, but those are some of the basics there. We'll go ahead and save this one as 400 rear wheel horsepower. Save. And it is ready to be flashed. Again, you have to do a full operating system flash. Program PCM operating system and calibrations whenever you flash it on. Then, if you do make changes to the tune after that, you only need to do a calibration flash. But the initial tune that you flash on with the DSP-5, you need to do a full operating system flash. Alright, we're going to go back to this stock tune. This time we're going to do DSP-5. Since we're going to do the calibration, or the display units anyway, we'll go ahead and start with upgrade operating system. Go straight to DSP-5, apply upgrade, yes, okay, save as. DSP-5. Save. Remember, you have to exit out and then log back into that file in order for the custom operating system calibrations to be there. And there they are. And once again, these are actually populated, these files, the DSP programs. So on this one, we do not have to run that base calibration that we did on the older ECUs. However, you might want to make sure, because I think that it's still set to imperial or metric. So we'll go configure display units, and it looks like they are actually set to imperial, but we'll do it all again anyway. And we'll hit OK. And now we're ready to run the DSP-5 script. Edit, run script, open, scripts, LMM no DPF, fuel mileage to 420 real horse. So this is basically, the smallest tune is fuel mileage, and then it incrementally goes up from there up to 420 real horsepower. Stock is roughly 300 with exhaust delete and open exhaust, or DPF delete, open exhaust. So run. So that would make this tune roughly 120 rear wheel horsepower tune in that area, which is borderline on the stock torque converter and transmission. The DSP-5 scripts definitely take a little longer. There's a lot of tables being adjusted here. One error. Let's check this error. It's probably the same one we had earlier. fuel pressure base, high altitude. I'm going to take a look at it and just see what that map looks like. That is B1050. That's it right there. See, even though there was an error, the map actually looks totally fine. In most cases, some DSPs are designed for newer operating systems. Since 07 was the first year model, the map may extend in one direction or another a little further, and then causing an error when you do want to run a script on an older operating system. But it's most cases it's not a big deal. Not on these scripts that I have, but it is always a good idea to take a look at those if you're getting a script from someone else. And again, DPF, if you want to turn it on or off, same way with EGR. This one actually has EGR enabled, which I would recommend leaving it enabled unless you get a block plate or delete it. As long as it's on the truck, I would recommend just leave it enabled. And again, we'll go under DTC table enables. And like I said, this is an older script. Both of these are, so I'm pretty sure that they're going to be the same way. Let's look. Yep, EGR, that one's still on. Turn it off. So yeah, I know I need to update these scripts. They're kind of old, but whenever I made these scripts, they didn't have all the DTC enables unlocked yet on this operating systems. Earlier version of EFILive, basically. Either way, that looks good there. And again, speedometer, if you want to make changes there, go ahead and make changes. This one's got it all enabled. I'll go ahead and save this one. I'll just go ahead and save it, actually the same file. I'll just hit the save button. And it is ready to be flashed on. And once again, make sure to do full operating system flash on DSP5 tunes for the first time. On a regular tune, you don't have to. On just a single tune, you don't need to worry about it. But on DSP5, you need to, because you are technically changing the complete operating system of the ECU. So I hope this has been a help to you guys. And if you got any other questions or something, leave it in the comments, or I will try to get back to as many as I can. And yeah, have a good one. Thanks.